Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Torres wants to join Manchester United despite Tottenham matching €50 million bid. Torres agents have already flew to Manchester over transfer talks. Manchester United are prepared to pay $43 million for Torres. Torres plays for Villarreal. He's been at Villarreal for several years. He's been with them around 20 years. Came up their academy. At one point he had a loan spell with Malaga. Torres is under contract with Villarreal until 2024. He is the age of 25. Now, David De Gea is closing in on a contract extension until 2025. David De Gea's current contract at Man United expires next year. De Gea earns £375,000 a week. He got named the Premier League's Player of the Month back in January. De Gea has won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. He's been a long-serving player. He's enjoyed 11 seasons at Manchester United. Manchester United got De Gea from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. De Gea was sensational this season. He is regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So that's the news on him. As you all know, Erik Ten Hag is officially Manchester United's manager. Not so long ago, Ten Hag had his first interview as the Manchester United manager. The Erik Ten Hag era has begun. Revert back to the other month, it got officially announced that Man United appointed Erik Ten Hag as their new manager. Ten Hag has replaced Ralf Rangnick. Erik Ten Hag signed a 3-year contract with an option of a further year. Ten Hag attended Manchester United's final game against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. There's a lot of players that Ten Hag wants to recommend to Manchester United. He wants to bring Timber in. Man United are set to sign Timber from Ajax this summer for around $30 million. It's a done deal, apparently. The contract is 4 years and there's an option of a 5th year. He wants to bring Anthony in. Ten Hag's interested in Lisandro Martinez. Man United have been linked with Declan Rice for a long time. So they are quite a lot of the players that Man United are in for. Ten Hag's transfer budget has already been revealed. Not so long ago, Man United confirmed the appointments of Mitchell van der Gaag and Steve McLaren. You know, they've joined Eric Ten Hag at Man United. This summer, Ten Hag is going to get rid of a lot of players. He says 10 players are set to leave Manchester United. But it's good that Ten Hag is experiencing the Premier League. Hopefully at Man United it can replicate what he did at Ajax. You've got to admire the work he did at Ajax. He developed the young players well. He won some Eredivisie titles. He won some Dutch Cups. And revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. Ten Hag was the Ajax manager for around 5 years. Before, Ten Hag managed Utrecht, Bayern Munich's reserves and Go Ahead Eagles. Ralf Rangnick, he was Manchester United's interim manager for around 4 or 5 months. Earlier on this year, it got officially announced that Ralf Rangnick got appointed in as the new manager of Austria. Ralf Rangnick signed a 2-year deal. But despite that, he said he'll continue at Manchester United in a consultancy role until 2024. Ralf Rangnick did endure one transfer window as Man United's interim manager. Unfortunately, he didn't get backed in this year's January transfer window. Earlier on this year, Rangnick made changes because he recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. Before, Ralf Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Man United did lose their final game to Crystal Palace 1-0 at Selhurst Park. Man United endured their worst ever Premier League season in terms of points. You know, Man United finished on just 58 points. Man United finished 6th place. Man United are in the Europa League for next season. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. Manchester United sacked David Moyes after like 10 months. Man United finished 7th under the Moyes era. Then Man United had Louis van Gaal. We sacked him after like 2 years. Man United won the FA Cup under him. Then after that, Man United had Jose Mourinho. Man United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. But he weren't that good in his second season. The reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board and bad disputes with the top players. And after Mourinho, Man United had Solskjaer. Man United sacked Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. So there you go. As things stand, Manchester United have not won a trophy for 5 years. Man United have only won, 4 trophies in the last 10 years. The last time Man United won the Premier League was back in 2013, which is almost 10 years ago. Man United have won 20 titles, 13 of them are Premier League titles. Like I say, we've got to get the Glazers out of the football club because they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. A lot of United fans have been protesting against the Glazers. And like I said, the protesting will persist until the Glazers are out of the club. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 17 years. They purchased the club for 500 million back in 2005. Revert back to earlier on this year, Matt Judge resigned. So reflecting on that, he won't play a role in the summer transfer window. Matt Judge was at Manchester United for around 8 years. Manchester United have not been the same team since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. A lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. We've got to accept that no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. Ferguson was the greatest manager of all time. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles when he was the United manager. So Ferguson brought success to the club, but Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Alex Ferguson was the Man United manager for around 27 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. The players who will be leaving Man United, Dean Henderson should be leaving. I heard he could be going to Newcastle. Dean Henderson is our second choice keeper, doesn't really get in goal. He only made 3 appearances, last season. Lee Grant, I said he was going to be leaving. I just want to confirm that Lee Grant has retired. Tom Eaton, I think he'll leave this year. If he doesn't leave this year, he'll definitely leave next year. Tom Eaton is our third choice goalkeeper. Man United got Tom Eaton on a free transfer from Aston Villa. Alex Telles, I reckon that he's leaving this summer. Telles appeared to be our first choice left back when we had Rangnick. I think we only played Telles though because obviously Luke Shaw's been out of injury for quite a while. Phil Jones and Eric Bailly, they'll be leaving Man United as well very soon because Jones and Bailly have already told their teammates that they intend on leaving the club. Jones and Bailly are backup centre-halves, they don't really get in the team. Harry Maguire, I think he needs to go this year because he's not good enough to represent the club. Throughout the course of the season that's just gone, a lot of United fans were demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Maguire. He's not a leader. Maguire had injury not so long ago. He's had quite a lot of injuries since he came to the club. Maguire's been at Man United for around 3 years. Man United paid 80 million for Harry Maguire. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and he's the second most expensive signing at the club. and Wan-Bissaka, he'll be leaving Man United this year. He said prior to the Crystal Palace game that Wan-Bissaka will be allowed to leave Man United this summer. Could be going back to Crystal Palace, I heard. Paul Pogba, think he's leaving very soon. Matic, we know that he's leaving the club. Earlier on this year, Matic announced he'll be leaving Man United this summer despite having 12 months on his contract. Jesse Lingard, he'll also be leaving. Martial will get rid of him permanently. Martial was out on loan with Sevilla last season. Juan Mata, I think he's leaving this year. Cavani's already left. I'm not sure where Cavani's going though. So there you go, and next year players will leave Man United. We've got quite a lot of players' contracts that do expire next year. You've got De Gea's contract that expires next year, but like I mentioned earlier, he's closing on the contract extension till 2025. You know, you've got Shaw's contract that expires next year. Shaw could possibly leave next year if he doesn't pick up his form, and he's got to avoid injuries as well. You've got Dallow's contract that expires next year. I think Dallow will stay this year, but he'll leave next. You've got Ronaldo's contract that expires next year. There's a good chance Ronaldo will leave next year, but I'm very sceptical he'll leave this year. Even though Man United are not in the Champions League, you know, Ronaldo want to play under Ten Hag. Ronaldo recently picked up a hip injury, so he missed the final game against Crystal Palace. And you've got Marcus Rashford's contract that expires next year. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update with. Drop your comments, like, support on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.